Why did you have to call the police on your babysitter? My mother-in-law Caroline stood in my living room, holding my 3-month-old son like he was a sack of flour, while announcing she knew better than any fancy pediatrician with their constantly changing rules. My stomach twisted into knots as she continued. Finally, someone who will raise this child properly instead of all this bubble wrap parenting. I wanted to snatch Luke from her arms, but the eviction notice hidden in my kitchen drawer reminded me I had no choice. Without my income, we'd be homeless in 30 days. The first morning I dropped Luke off, my hands wouldn't stop trembling. Caroline poured my diaper bag like she was investigating evidence of my incompetence, her face twisting with each item she pulled out. When she found my organic formula, she actually recoiled. This processed garbage? No wonder babies today are so weak. The sound of the canister hitting her trash can made me flinch. Caroline, please, that's specifically for his digestive, but she cut me off with a wave of her hand. Tom thrived on cow's milk from 2 weeks old. Real milk, not this laboratory nonsense. That evening, Luke's screams could be heard from the driveway. I burst through her door to find my baby's face purple red, his tiny fists clenched, his stomach distended and rock hard. Caroline sat calmly knitting while he writhed in his bouncer. Babies cry, she said without looking up. You're creating a weak child by running every time he fusses. I grabbed him, feeling his rigid belly, knowing exactly what she'd done. His agonized shrieks continued for 6 hours straight while I walked him around my apartment, my own tears falling onto his fevered head. She could have killed him, I sobbed to Tom that night while Luke finally slept, exhausted from pain. Tom rubbed his eyes, frustrated that I was attacking his mother again. She raised 4 kids, Savannah. We turned out fine. You're being dramatic. The words hit me like ice water. My own husband thought I was hysterical while our son suffered from his mother's ignorance. Week 2 destroyed any hope that Caroline might listen to reason. I'd rushed back during lunch after she didn't answer my 3 calls, my chest tight with unnamed dread. Luke was in his crib, a thick quilt pulled up to his chin, lying face down. My scream came out as a whisper as I flipped him over, his little face red and sweaty but breathing, thank God, still breathing. Caroline appeared in the doorway, annoyed. What's all the fuss? He was sleeping beautifully until you barged in. He could have suffocated. Babies die from sleeping like this. Oh please, she scoffed. SIDS is just something they made up to scare mothers. My babies all slept on their stomachs with proper blankets, not those thin sleep sacks you use. By the 4th week, I'd started secretly recording everything on my phone. Caroline caught me once and laughed. Taking pictures for Tom? Good. Show him how peaceful the baby is with someone who actually knows what they're doing. She had no idea I was documenting her putting rice cereal in his bottle, the honey she drizzled in to soothe his throat, the whiskey she rubbed on his gums that left him drowsy and disoriented. Each video made me sicker, but Tom needed to see proof his mother wasn't just old-fashioned. She was dangerous. I knew enough was enough that Tuesday morning when I entered Caroline's house to hear Luke's shrieks, but it wasn't because he was hungry or tired, but the kind of terrified shrieking that triggers every primal instinct in a mother's body. I flew up the stairs, following the sound to the bathroom where my 3-month-old son was alone in 3 inches of water, his tiny body rigid with fear, his lips tinged blue from the cold. Caroline strolled in behind me, still on her phone. Oh good, you're here. He was getting fussy about bath time. You left a baby alone in water? My voice came out as a shriek. I was right downstairs. Stop being so dramatic, Savannah. This is why he's so clingy. You've made him afraid of everything. That night, my hands shook as I installed the nanny cam, positioning it perfectly to capture Luke's crib area. Tom was working late again, avoiding the tension between his mother and me. I didn't care anymore if he thought I was paranoid. The next morning's footage would either vindicate me or prove I was losing my mind. What the camera captured made me vomit in my office trash can. Caroline pouring whiskey directly into his morning bottle, swirling it like she was mixing a cocktail. This'll help you sleep better than mommy's anxiety, she cooed to him. When he wouldn't stop crying an hour later, she pressed a pillow over his face, just for 3 seconds, but 3 seconds that could have been forever. There we go. Reset your breathing, little man. I called CPS from my car, hyperventilating between words. She's going to kill him. Please, I have a video. She put whiskey in his bottle and held a pillow over his face. The woman on the phone heard the hysteria in my voice and stayed calm. Ma'am, are you able to safely remove the child? I'm getting him now. The police arrived while Caroline was still arguing with me. Luke clutched against my chest. This is ridiculous. I've raised 4 children. You can't arrest someone for traditional parenting. Even as they handcuffed her, she kept insisting I was an ungrateful, paranoid girl who didn't deserve a grandmother's help. Tom arrived as they put her in the patrol car, his face white as the officer showed him the footage on my phone. Caroline was charged with child endangerment and banned from unsupervised contact with any minor.